Okay, I got it. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, hello, everybody. It is now 8 o'clock, and that's right. You've tuned in to The Talk. This is Pastor Carlos Calhoun, and I am joined tonight with three great, wonderful young men who are going to be sharing with us tonight as we talk about it. So here's the question I got for everybody who's out there listening. Are you ready for The Talk? All right, so tonight on The Talk, what we're going to talk about is where do we go from here? It's Black History Month, and we know the things that are going on around us in this country, in our society, and we want to talk about it. That's right. One of the great talks of all times is the talk that we have with Black and Brown, with our children, about what you do when you get pulled over by the police and how you interact with people in authority places and other I want to say denominations because I'm churchy, but how you interact with them. So what I need you to do real quick, I need you to share this. I need you to share it. Also, I need you to subscribe. That's right. Subscribe, baby. Hit that subscribe button, hit those likes. For those who are joining us, I see we have those that are joining us on tonight. I need you to also get in the comments, get in the chat. Let us know what your questions are. Let us know what your comments are, because we want to make this a great discussion. And so tonight, I'm going to kick it off with prayer. I'm going to open up with prayer. Prayer is always in order. And then I'm going to ask each one of our special guests to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about what's been going on with them. And then after that, we're going to get into the discussion. So real quick, I need all those who are watching with us to text somebody, talk to somebody, just tell somebody that the talk is on. The talk is on. So here we go. God, our Father, Lord, we pray now for a great discussion on tonight. We pray now that it be thought-provoking, that it be that it be exciting, but God, also that it be the beginning of something greater. And so, Father, we ask now in the name of Jesus, Lord God, that you be with us. And this we ask. Amen. Amen. All right, so listen, I'm going to ask that each one of you give me who you are, but then give me what you've been up to. Some of you I haven't seen in a minute. Some of you I see all the time, but tell me what you've been up to. Tell the viewers what you've been up to. Who wants to go?
My name Keenan Dixon, and I just been cooling, playing the game, really, trying to stay out the way and maintain the straight head.
Absolutely. Hey, Keenan, tell us for those who may not know you, tell us where you're living at. Tell us what you who you're hanging with. Just give us an idea of what's going on, the context for your comments on tonight.
I'm from Calhoun, Georgia, born and raised. I just been hanging out with my family, my sisters, my grandmother. That's really who I've been at the house here lately with all this quarantine and stuff, this coronavirus. That's what I've really been on, just hanging with them.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. Who wants to introduce themselves next?
I'll go. All right, my name is Courtney Cooley, as y'all may know. I'm Pastor Calhoun's son. From Cartersville, still live in Cartersville, but I also been in and out of Atlanta a lot. So if y'all know, I go by Buggy Beats as well. I'm a music producer. So, that's all I've been focused on mainly, especially since quarantine started. It's giving me a lot of time to really get better at what I do. So I've been focusing. I already been staying out the way anyway, but it gives me even more time to focus on what I do. So I've been networking a little bit, trying to build my brand. Just started my website. The website will be up very soon. I'll let everybody know about that. Got my merch and stuff on the way. But yeah, I just been trying to stay out the way, stay out of trouble, and just keep focusing on my career. So.
All right, cool. So my name is Taurus. I'm from Calhoun. I'm actually living in Denver, Colorado right now, and I'm a technology consultant. So really, I just be working all the time. And then, outside of that, I hang out with some friends I met here. Recently got into snowboarding. That's something I never thought I'd do, but thought I'd give it a try. I go all the time now. And then, you know, outside of that, I've just been chilling pretty much.
So,
Oh, I think Pastor dropped.
Yeah, I think he dropped. It looked like he dropped out. There it comes.
Hey, so we back, man. Sorry about that. These things will happen. We're back. So listen, if I happen to have a problem again, y'all have the questions. Let's go ahead and get into it. So those who are watching tonight, if you have a comment, have a question, do me a favor, put it in the chat. We will get to those chat questions as soon as possible. But listen, here's what I want to know. All right, so last year was bananas, right? COVID-19, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd. We literally watched things happen and unfolding on media, real time, watching these things happen. But now here we are, we're not hearing a lot of stuff anymore. Seems like everything's went quiet. So here's my question. What's really going on? In your opinion, have things gotten better? Are people not talking about it? Tell us a little bit, what's your thoughts about racial relations as it is right now in 2021? Let's kick it up with Taurus. Taurus, give me what you think about what's going on right now.
Yeah. I say it's quieted down some. You know, when those things first happened with George Floyd, everybody was talking about it. I was out here in Colorado and I seen some protesting going on daily. You know, I even seen SWAT team out and, you know, trying to stop people and stuff like that. But now, you know, those things have stopped and it's pretty much quiet. At work, they started hosting like these conferences where minorities could go and, you know, say how we feel and stuff like that. You know, they're still hosting those things, but you know, outside of that, you know, it's pretty much been quiet.
So have things gotten better, or is it just quiet?
I think more people are aware, but I don't really think anything's better, really. I think deep down, the school systems in certain neighborhoods are not, you know, as well as they are, you know, at private schools and things like that. So I think that once people start investing in impoverished neighborhoods and you know, places where a lot of minorities live and things like that, that's when things will start to get better racially. But you know, I don't think anybody's really doing anything. I think that people are just saying things, and it really don't mean that much. At least to me, it doesn't.
Yeah, I hear that, man. So Courtney, tell me your perspective from Cartersville to ATL. Tell me what you are seeing. Of course, you know, ATL was set ablaze. It was crazy. I'm down there. But you know, Cartersville and Calhoun, you know, there was protests here as well. What's your thoughts? Have things gotten better? Have we forgotten about it? Where do we go from here, Courtney?
Yeah, I agree with Taurus. It's kind of been quiet as far as, you know, social media, and you don't really hear about things. I feel like it's still a lot more going on that we probably don't see on the news and everything. But as far as, you know, all the stuff that went on, it kind of seemed like a trend. Like all the protesting and stuff, you know, it kind of, like you said, it slowed down. So like, where's all that now? Even though it's still stuff going on, you know, especially like I said, we don't really hear about everything, you know. So I definitely don't think it's getting better. It's not getting better. Like, I think people getting more aware, but to be honest, I don't know where it's headed, but like I said, I don't think it's actually getting better. And I'm not sure if it's getting worse either, but it kind of feels like it's getting worse. Like I said, right now it's slow, but you never know. One day it might pop up on the news, somebody else, that's how it usually happens. It gets slow for a minute, and out of nowhere, boom, something else happened. So,
yeah. And honestly, there has been incidents. They haven't gotten the press, but there's still been incidents happening. So yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, Keenan, jump in. You tell us, hey, your dynamic is different. That's why each one of y'all are on here, because your dynamic is different. But get on here, tell us from your point of view. I want to say this, Keenan. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. But I noticed that when I go by Nanny's house and when I'm over that way, I noticed that you hang with a mixed crowd. I know you've been staying out the way right now, but normally when things are normal, you hang with a diverse group. I'll see the African American, I'll see Caucasians, I'll see all of them in your crew. So tell me about that. What's your perspective?
My perspective on it, just like they said, I got a pretty big friend group, and like we all like not necessarily I'm trying to think of how to word it, but it's definitely done slowed down a whole lot. And up here in Calhoun, we really ain't hitting on the top, like hitting on it. Could you ask me the question one more time? So
Yeah. No, you're good, man. You're good. So, I was just asking, do you feel like are we making progress? Maybe I should have said it that way. Are we making progress? Are we standing still, or are we going backwards?
Most, like, for me, I feel like people being up here in Calhoun, we definitely like at a standstill right now. Like we were like back in the summer, we were protesting a whole lot, getting our voice heard. And like it just basically stopped. Like people just stopped caring. We gotta I say like we knocking on the doors. It ain't getting better, but it's not any worse. Like I wouldn't say any worse, but like it's some things that we could do, you know what I'm saying? And to like get it back on track and get it back focused and stuff. And like putting it out there to people and broadcasting our voices.
Yeah. Excellent. And so that the picture that we shared, hey, this is the talk. If you're watching with us live, if you got questions, you got comments, we're here for all of that. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification so that you'll get notifications when we're live. But let me ask you this question. So the kind of follow-up question to that was that after 2020, after Ahmaud Arbery, after George Floyd, after those incidents, it seems like there were a lot of things that were done regarding trying to right wrongs. And let me cue this up. There were several Confederate monuments that were moved or taken down. There were positions. I don't want to say people were placating us, but placating. They were doing some things we didn't even ask them to do. I mean, there was pictures on YouTube of people of Caucasian kneeling before African American people, apologizing for what they had done. What do you think about all those instances where people are trying to right wrongs? We'll cue it up to Courtney first. Courtney, what do you think about that? Some of the things we've seen. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't ask for some of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you really can't right the wrong, honestly. I don't think it's possible because, you can't bring back a life. I mean, you can't, go back in time. So, I mean, it's really all of that stuff. I really don't think it matters that much to us, at least to our people. It don't matter that much, maybe they feel that way. Maybe that's what they feel like it worked, but honestly, that's not. We obviously don't really care about monuments and all of that stuff. So we care more about the lives that's being taken and, the way that we're being treated, in certain situations, not, a monument that's been here for years, before I was even thought of, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like for especially our age group, some of these monuments are like twice or three times our age. So it's like, what is it really meaning to us that them taking that down? We don't even care about it anyway. So that's all, that's what I think about that.
Okay. Keenan, let's jump into it. What do you think about some of the things that were done? I mean, we saw, sports teams wearing black jerseys. We've seen a whole lot of things done. And like I said, I don't want to say that they're placating us, but in some instances, maybe they are placating us. What do you think about some of the things that were done, taking down monuments and all these different things? How do you feel about it?
I feel like
Uh-oh, Keenan's froze. Keenan, you froze. We'll see if you come back real quick. If not, we'll shoot it to Tars and come back to Keenan last. Let's see if he comes back to us.
Oh.
Hey, again.
Oh, yeah, I think
this
he
is the
got
talk. There you go, Keenan. Come on.
okay. But like I was saying, like it's really like Courtney was saying, like it really didn't mean like, I mean, it's a starting point, but it really ain't nothing to us, I guess you could say, because like it's still lives out here being lost, most deaf. And I say like the athletes wearing the shirts and stuff is still a starting point. Like getting our voices out there, they have a big role in a bunch of people's lives and stuff, being professional athletes. And I feel like that is a starting point for us, and to get things back on track and stuff like that.
Okay. Tars, same question, man.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I agree with everything Courtney was saying. Monuments and stuff, we don't really care about that type of stuff. Maybe the people who took them down, they do, but in our community, we don't really, unless it's MLK monument or something. But there's still lives being taken, and cops still not going to jail for taking those lives, and just crazy stuff. So I say, when police reform, education reform, prison reform, when all that stuff starts to happen, and we can see the change in our lives and other people's lives that maybe would have gotten in trouble that didn't. When that stuff starts to happen, I'll say, things are changing. But until then, it is what it is.
Okay. Well, yeah, I appreciate that. So let me you mentioned something. You mentioned the interaction with police officers. So that brings us to another one of our questions. Let me say this real quick. Again, if you're watching with us, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the alarm button so you get all the notifications. And listen, we are here. We want to hear your interactions. We got about 10 people watching with us live right now. And so we want to hear your comments. We want to interact with your questions. And so we're asking if you will put those in the chat. We'll monitor the chat and try to get to your questions. But you brought up something about police officers. So let me ask you this. So one of the conversations I remember having it with Courtney, Sister Gloria and we had a conversation with Courtney about when the blue lights get behind you. And I'm not suggesting, let's be clear, I'm not suggesting that any of these young men, because I believe these are some of the finest young men around, I'm not suggesting that any of these young men are doing anything, but there's just this moment when they get behind you, when the police officers get behind you. I want to ask each one of you to share with me as best you can. I assume each one of you have driven and had that incident, or maybe it wasn't driving. Maybe you were at a ball game. Maybe you were somewhere. How does it feel that moment in light of Ahmaud Arbery, a light of those weren't necessarily police officers. That's not a perfect example, but George Floyd. How do you feel that moment when you're having that interaction with the police? So we'll go to Keenan first.
With everything going on, definitely like a scared feeling, like a nervous feeling, like my stomach gonna drop. And I definitely shouldn't, nobody should feel that way when the police should get behind them. I had an incident a month or two ago, and me and one of my good friends, we were coming from Adairsville, and we had got pulled over, and so we had the police officer. It was a Hispanic officer. So like, I guess you could say, I mean, he was Hispanic. I mean, he wasn't like out of the rude or anything, but you could definitely tell that he took his power to an extent a little bit. Like, he was so worried about like what he would find in the car instead of and other stuff, like asking us, you know what I'm saying, like just being aggressive. And like, it was another officer on scene. The other officer was cool, laid back, but like it didn't. I mean, it was just like, dang, this stuff really do happen. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So if you don't mind me asking, what was the outcome? So they did their thing and then they let you guys go. Is that what happened?
Oh yeah. He didn't find anything on us, and he unfortunately he let us go. Yeah, but he definitely let us go. Not unfortunately.
Yeah. I got you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's shoot it to Let's shoot it to Taurus. Taurus, tell me about that moment. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, I get nervous when I see the blue lights too. Here I don't really get pulled. I haven't got pulled over actually, but back in Georgia, I was with one of my cousins one time, and we were in Adairsville, and I seen a cop get behind me, and I'm like, all right, he gonna follow me. So he started following me, and I'm almost home, and he pulled me over, of course, and he said that I touched the yellow line, not swerving or weaving or nothing like that. He said I touched the yellow line, and then he accused my cousin of being in jail like the day before. Then he asked me to get out the car and was just like, "You like you about to run? Is there anything in there that if I find it, we'll take you to jail or whatever?" And I was like, "Nah, do what you got to do." He didn't search the car or nothing, but I just thought it was like crazy that he pulled me out of the car for touching the yellow line while I'm driving when I was driving careful because I knew he was behind me the entire time. And then he gave me a warning, and it just was like black scribbles. It didn't even say no words. It didn't say like, you did this, you did that. It was literally just like, I don't know. It was just fake writing, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I don't care how good you are, how cautious you are. To me, that's like a nonsense. That's nonsense because everybody touches the yellow line. And I'm not suggesting you did or didn't, but I'm saying that's not a reason to pull me over. If I continuously, swerve, but touch the yellow line, that's what we're talking about.
His exact words. Yep.
Yeah. Let's shoot it to Courtney. Shoot it to Courtney, and then I got a follow-up question. Courtney,
okay. Personally, I haven't had any, bad experiences with law enforcement, but I can say that I am like, with everything going on, I also have to, as much as I don't want to have to fear for my, for that, I still do. Cause like me being in and out of Atlanta a lot, what go down, what go down there all the time. It's a lot of stuff that goes down. So especially when I'm down there, I try to be extra cautious, try to make sure I'm following, the road instructions, make sure I'm not speeding, make sure, even though I shouldn't have to do, have to keep that on the swivel at all times, but it's like I also understand what, they're targeting us out here because we're Black people. So, but, I do have people that I know who had, like we talked about earlier, one of the guys I work with, his brother got pulled over up in New York, and he drives a nice car. He got a Mercedes, he got money and everything, So as far as I know from that situation, he had got pulled over because, he was getting targeted because in that area of New York, that's what they do. They target, people like that. So they had pulled him out the car and everything, made him, handcuffed him and everything. So to find out that he didn't have anything, but it's just the fact that they would do that just because he's in a nice car. So it make me think like, dang, like, I can't even have nothing nice because, if I have something nice, they're going to think where the money came from, like we talked earlier, or even if I drive just a normal car, it's like they still going to target us no matter what. So it's definitely something that we got, it's pretty sad that we have to, fear in situations like that. Even if it's something small, it's like the smallest thing can lead or trigger them in a way. So it's like we gotta always be cautious. So
yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's a comment. We were having a conversation earlier. So and literally, if you watch police shows or if you just know officers, if you're in a busted ride, a hoopty, then you're suspect, right? Because it's a busted ride. You're up to something nefarious behavior because you're in a hoopty. But then if you're in a Bentley, now you're a dope man. So it's kind of darned if I don't. It's kind of a messed up situation. Here was my follow-up situation, my question, and I don't know if any of you've been in this, but has there ever been a time where you were in a interaction with a police officer and you felt for your life? You felt like this could really be a moment here. Anybody ever have that?
Nah, I haven't.
I haven't.
No, sir.
Anybody ever experienced that kind of a moment?
No, I haven't
No.
personally.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay. Well, that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
I can't necessarily say I'll be honest with you. There's been times where I wasn't really doing a whole lot of late, but just because of all the stuff that's going on, I just felt unsure. Right?
Mhm.
And then there's another side to this, right? They don't have a voice with us tonight, but there's another side to this. That I'm sure that they feel some type of way, right? So after those things happen, and remember, after some of the incidents we had where people were actually harming police officers, people were shooting down. So now you got the itchy trigger finger. You got people that are scared and maybe who shouldn't have the job to begin with. That's another story for another day. All right, so listen, we're having some problems with the chat, so we're not able to get your questions with the chat, but we're having a great conversation. I do apologize if there's someone who's watching and you have a question or a comment and you have my phone number, go ahead and text that to me. Our time is winding up, but we got time for a few more things. So I want to put this out here. Where do I was watching the documentary on the Black church, and they got to the portion where they were talking about Dr. King, and Dr. King, his last book, if I'm not mistaken, before his assassination, was Where Do We Go From Here? So that's what we tagged this. That's what I want to talk about in our closing minutes. Where do we go from here? So my first question is, where do we go from here as a people? As people of color, as African-American people, where do we go from here? So we've all talked about, this is where we are and this is what's going on. But what's the next steps? You guys are the next generation. You are this generation. Where do we go from here? Let's cue it up back to Taurus first. Taurus, what needs to happen? What must happen? Where do we go from here?
Just speaking on Black, not doing nothing on white, but feel like we just need to pass down good habits from generation to generation. I'm working on myself now, just trying to do the best that I can. So when I have kids, I can pass down, what I've learned and the experiences that I've had to them, and then the cycle can continue. Unfortunately, I think, as of history shows that we've been in terrible situations, so we haven't been able to pass down things like some other ethnic groups can do. But I think that if we just work on ourselves and focus on ourselves and try to stay out of the way and stay out of trouble and things like that and do something, just pass it down and just keep it going.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Let's go to Courtney. Courtney, what has to happen next? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Taurus. We gotta just do the best we can, because we all, at this point, we know what can happen at any given moment. So, but I don't think we should fear. We shouldn't have fear. We shouldn't be scared to go out and live our lives. But also, we gotta remember, we already are looked at different. So, especially us as Black men, we can't go out sagging our pants and doing this, doing that, and not expect something to be suspicious about us, even if we not. You know what I'm saying? We just can't make ourselves any more of a target than we already are, basically, long story short. So it's like, for example, me, I'm a music producer. In the music industry, it already has a certain stereotype. So it's like, I could either feed into that stereotype or I could be my own person. Cause I don't have to be of that, you know, to do what I'm doing, because that could cause more issues. So it's like, I choose to just be myself. Like he said, stay out the way, do what you know, just do what we know we're supposed to do. And I think that's what's that'll fix a lot of things. You know, most of the things you know, we put not all the time, but, you know, some of the times we put ourselves in situations, and then, you know, our arrogance as Black people sometimes to take over in a certain situation. Not all, you know, but sometimes it be us. Sometimes we got to accept sometimes that it's us. You know, you can't put, like I said, you can't make yourself more of a target than you already are.
Yeah.
I want to pitch this to Keenan, and then I'm actually getting text messages now of comments and questions. And so, Courtney, I want to come back to you, to all of you, but I want to come back to you with a follow-up question that I just got text. So Keenan, what has to happen next? Where do we go from here? What has to happen next?
Definitely getting our voices heard. Like I feel like that's the number one thing that we need to go stick together as Black people and have our arms open to new things. Definitely get out there and vote. Like that's the main thing. Getting our voices heard. That's the main thing. Like the biggest focus. I got 2% love, but yeah, just getting our voices heard. And sticking together, like Tara says, passing it down to our loved ones, our kids, trying to better ourselves, and all type. And it's more that we could do. But I think that's the main focus, is getting our voices heard and starting voting. And that way we can see actual change.
Yep.
Okay, man. I hope we don't lose you. You say your battery's almost gone, but because they're really shooting us the questions now. All right, so if you happen to pop off, try to pop back in, because we want you for the whole duration if possible. All right, so check it out. I told y'all we were getting some questions. It ties into your replies, but can you touch on being unapologetically Black? Do they care? And this is to y'all. Do you care what other races think? Or did you care before 2020? So this idea, this concept of being unapologetically Black. Courtney, you were saying that, you know, we can't increase the target on our back, right? But then there's a certain moment where you should just be able to be yourself, man. You know, I'll liken it to this, and then I'll let you guys talk. Juneteenth in the Cartersville community, we came together like never before, and we had a moment. We had a vibe going, y'all. There was body beads and shea butter. There was fish, chicken wings, and we were out there I call that unapologetically Black. And there were some people of another persuasion that rolled upon the scene, but when they came, they had to accept us. This wasn't me coming on my job with twisting my hair. This was them rolling up on my scene, and we were unapologetically Black. So the question comes, we gotta operate in that space, but then at the same time, what do y'all think about that idea of being unapologetically Black?
We can't. That's something that we can't change. We can't change. Like, we can't change the color of our skin. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's just something I don't know. Like, we can't. That's something we can't do. You know what I'm saying? We can't help it. We're Black.
Yeah.
We looked at different because the color of our skin. Like, that's unnecessary. That's untolerated. That's pure ignorance, I feel like.
Okay. Anybody else want to hop on that one? Unapologetically Black.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. You gotta be yourself. I agree. You gotta be yourself. I think I'm echoing. Sorry about that. But one day at work they asked me to like tell me about myself, and I had to like create like a document and show my interests and stuff like that. Well, my office is pretty much all white outside of me. I kind of felt a little weird, like rap music and Black culture, and I almost didn't want to put it in there, but I just went ahead and put it in there anyways, whether if they judge me or not. But just you gotta be yourself at the end of the day.
Hey, we're getting a little feedback. If I know we're on Zoom, and then we're also going to YouTube. If you have YouTube going, can you silence the YouTube so that we're just getting the Zoom? We're getting some feedback from somewhere. All right. Well, cool. Hopefully we can kill that. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, Court, you want to touch on that one? Unapologetically Black.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. There's no reason that we should change our culture. No reason that we should change our culture. That's one thing that's never going to change. Never. So, like I said, never going to. As long as we're being ourselves, that's all that matters. But as long as we're being all the other stuff, that's all that matters. What I had said about make yourself a target. If that's who you are, then that's who you are. But like you said, the way that the world is now is like sometimes you gotta. I feel like in certain situations you gotta be yourself, but sometimes it's like always be yourself. But it's just certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say that, but it's like this is what it is now. But I still agree. Like you can't change our skin, can't change our hair texture, none of that. That's always gonna be there. So.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about this another day. You guys have to come back and join us another day. We'll have to talk about this another day. But I crave those moments. Listen, now I grew up in a situation where I was in a school, and I assume this was an after effect of desegregation. But I went to a school, and there was probably 2 or 3 of us in each grade. And so I grew up with people of, Caucasian people, and I have no problem with it. But there's something about me that craves those just unapologetically Black moments when we can just come together as a people and in a peaceful way and just have these beautiful Black experience. The blackity black, everything Black, everything, all day, every day. All right, so let me hit this next question. And then we'll be getting ready for the wrap up. I do apologize for those who are watching us that we couldn't get the chat, because that's one of the best parts of it. We're trying some different things with technology, and so we're not able to get the chat. We had some people send some things into my text message, and we want to interact with those best as possible. Again, if you're watching, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the alarm so you get notifications. This is The Talk. It's a segment. It's part of Bethesda Baptist Church. That's right, the pool, baby. All right, so listen. Question for the talk. How do you handle when someone makes sarcastic comments that are racist or offensive to you? So somebody comes and they say, "Oh, how did you get your hair like that? Oh man, can I touch your hair?" No. Y'all put that stuff on your skin, lotion and shaper. They make those backhanded compliments, or I know you're glad that that we're not drug screening. I know you don't do background checks. They give you those little sarcastic things. So let's talk about it. It's a question from one of our, and thank you for your questions and your comments. Let's shoot it to Courtney first. What do you think about when somebody make those backhanded comments?
Well, first of all, obviously they're, ignorant and not knowing, but, because I personally haven't had, any of those type of things, but obviously that could be, I'm sure that's offensive to certain people, and I feel like, definitely they shouldn't say things like that if they, even though it's a joke, they should obviously know, just like as anybody, not even just, Black, if it's something, that you're not sure about, I don't think you should speak on it at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I definitely don't think those jokes are okay. They're definitely not okay. Even though, like I said, me personally, I never had to, I never had one of those jokes directed towards me by, another race. So, but still, I can see where somebody who it was, directed towards you, where they could get upset about it.
Well, this wasn't a joke, Courtney, but there was a situation, right? So you're getting money now. So you're producing music, you're getting money now. Don't want to put you out there, but there was a situation, you got ready to buy your car, right? So you went down to the credit union. Can you tell us about that situation?
Oh yeah. I remember. I did have a situation. I forgot about that. I had went to the bank to deposit, some cash from my business, and they were questioning me. Like I understood what they were doing, but she started going excessive with it, like just asking the same question over and over after I had just told her, and I'm sitting there asking like, why are you asking me these type of questions? She's like, where'd you get the money from? Who do you work for? What did you do? What you do? And I respectfully told her, like, this what I do. And she just kept going on and on about it. And I'm like, see, now I just felt some type of way about that, because like I'm a young Black man minding my business, making money for something I love to do, and you over here, excessively questioning me about something, which I understand. Like I said, at the end of the day, I understood because it's a lot of money, at one time in cash, so it would make sense. But at the same time, the way her tone and the way she was, that type of stuff like that, it's different. It's a difference with that.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So Keenan, let's hop to you, Keenan. Let's hop to you, Keenan. Tell us about it.
Yeah, most definitely. There's no room for the racial jokes and the racial comments, and it all goes back to like who you truly are as a person. I feel like you hear those type of comments. You could act with two ways. You could act with aggression, or you can think about it and pour your knowledge into that person and like guide them in the right direction, so you wouldn't have to go through that type of hear those type of things and stuff like that. Just act with peace and just keep your peace, because I feel like I'm a hothead myself, and I know I can like things can, like, you can hear stuff, and sometimes you could just go off the deep end and just blow up, and it turn bad. But I just say just keep, stay focused and just act with peace and be kind to others, and like drop down knowledge on them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing this Martin Keenan, and I was looking for the Malcolm Keenan. the peaceful, and I love it.
The Malcolm Keenan, there's too much trouble. Can't do that.
Yeah,
Especially in this day and age, 2021.
You said we had to do some things different moving forward. Tara, same question. Those little backhanded comments, sly, innuendos, all like that. What you think?
When I was a kid, I would get mad and retaliate. But now that I'm grown, I don't let people take me out of my character. I just in one ear and out the other, just keep it moving. There's no point in me responding to something like that because it's ignorant, like Courtney said, and I'm not gonna respond to ignorant people, so that's how I feel about it. Just in one ear and out the other, pretty much.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, we've spent a little bit more time, and I think this was warranted tonight. Normally we're like 30 minutes, but we spent a little extra time tonight, and I think it was warranted. What I like to do in the closing, I always like to give you a chance to touch on something. Maybe it's something that you want to share. Maybe it's something that we just didn't get enough time to talk about. Wrap up. I want to shoot to Keenan first, and we'll come back to Courtney. Then Tars will wrap up with your final thoughts. Give final thoughts, Keenan. What anything we missed? Anything else you just want to say? Something you would tell your little sisters? What do you want to tell us?
I would to everybody out there, just use your voice in a good way, in a healthy way, and just keep God, be the change, and just keep guiding yourself in the right direction, and use your voice once again. Vote, definitely vote, because that has a big change and stuff. You see what we did this year? We got, got President Trump out of office. Yes, sir. A whole blue state. Yeah, definitely. And that was a big accomplishment. Like the things we could do if we all come together as one, we can move mountains.
Absolutely. I love that. The vote. We have to come back again and talk about vote.
Yes, sir.
Courtney.
Oh yeah, just adding on to what he said, I agree with Keenan, and also, we gotta start. We have to support each other more. Support the Black businesses, the Black creators. Everybody. It's obviously a lot more businesses starting now. The time that we're in, things are changing now, so we shouldn't. I see, especially in our age group, I see a lot of people, look down on people starting businesses or starting to do something that's better for themselves, instead of just supporting it, because that's how we gonna be, like Keenan said, that's how we gonna come together and supporting each other instead of hating on each other, and stop killing each other, stop, all that stuff. We gotta stop doing that first before we can even get to the next step. And then then everything will move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's funny that you said that, because I want to do a segment. We have some entrepreneurs in our ranks. Keisha's daughter, Kiana, she's always making baskets and wreaths for the stuff. My son Micah, he's making candles, and I don't want to just bring up those two, because I believe that there's more. But I want to do a segment. I want to do a show about entrepreneurs. What makes somebody want to be an entrepreneur? What makes them say I can go out and cut grass? What makes them say I can go out and make candles, or whatever your hustle is? What is it that clicks inside of them? Why are they wired differently? Hey, Tars, what are your closing remarks? What do you want to tell us?
Just be ready for the police if you get pulled over. Have that license ready and the insurance ready, and keep the conversation minimal. Don't start talking to them, and that's when stuff starts to happen. So just yes sir, no sir, or yes ma'am, no ma'am, and keep it moving. I already had an ID in hand and insurance in hand. That's what I do anyways, and so far it's worked. So yeah, and I agree with everything Keenan and Courtney said too. That's some good stuff.
Well, listen, our time is about up. So let me give my closing remarks. First of all, I want to thank these guys. I need everybody clapping. I need everybody clapping. These young men are phenomenal. But they're just a portion.
I think.
You frozen.
Yeah. He dropped off. Probably join back in a minute. What's that, Courtney? One of them hologram things?
Yeah. I got it from Amazon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Appreciate it, yo. Set the vibe for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear them walking upstairs. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that Zoom stuff, it ain't the best.
This is my first time actually been on Zoom.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I ain't never used it. I was asking my little sister. That's when we was getting started out. That's what I was doing.
All right, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Pastor needs a new internet. So anyway, I was saying in closing, thank you guys for coming on. And listen, the songwriter said, this world won't get any better if we just let it be. So you got to change it. And so we got to be the change. And I appreciate everything that was said about voting, about following protocol and procedures, but we have to be the change. Matter of fact, I just believe that if Jesus Christ is walking here on earth, that he would be a part of the movement. He would be a part of things that are fighting for social justice and for social rights. I believe it's not anti-Christian. I believe it is Christian, that we fight for rights of anybody and everybody that's having their rights infringed upon, that people that are being disenfranchised. So we fight and we protest for people that are being put in cages at borders. We fight for Black and brown people that necks are being kneeled on while they gasp for air. We fight for the rights of people that are marginalized and institutionalized. We fight for the rights of people that don't have a voice and can't speak for themselves. So I appreciate what was said and what was done here tonight. And listen, for those who are watching, we're so grateful. We'll see you next Thursday for the talk. Are you ready? Y'all be blessed. We'll see you soon.